This is Austin St. John, Jason, the original Red Ranger. You are watching the Morphin Network.
This Morphin Network video is sponsored by Ranger Stop Convention and Ranger Stop and Pop. Have you ever wanted to see all your favorite Power Rangers together in one epic convention? Go to Ranger Stop! Ranger Stop and Pop. March 5th to the 7th, 2021. Atlanta, Georgia. Ranger Stop 8. November 11th to the 14th, 2021. Orlando, Florida. Get your tickets now.
You walk away, you don't hear me say, please, oh baby, don't go. Simple and clean as the wind you give me to the night. I'm sorry, I couldn't find the lyrics to Sanctuary at the last minute, so I had to sing this one again. Unfortunately.
Yeah, well, I just gotta say, Almighty, Onika kareta, chieto yuki wo tsukande.
Or no, I got a better one. And you and I, there's a new land. Angels and fly, I need more flesh. You know, my sanctuary, yeah. Where fears and lies melts away. Okay, let's just keep 100. Kingdom Hearts 2 is the best one in the series. Listen, Kingdom Hearts 2 Kingdom Hearts peaked after 2. 3 is not a good game. I'm sorry. But the good news is Sora is not as useless in Kamen Rider as Kairi is in Kingdom Hearts. And for Kingdom Hearts fans, come at me, bro. Well, anyways.
I honestly, I'm just more fixated on studying salamanders.
Yeah, right. Anyways, what's up, guys? Not Reckless. Jeez, I'm mixed up all my shows. Oh my god. What's up? We are the Rider Time Podcast. Henshin Go, baby. I'm Leo, a.k.a. Psycho Fox, and I got my boy Mike, a.k.a. Kamen Rider Extraordinaire, a.k.a. Time Rider 0. Not 1, just 0.
Sup?
Henshin. Anyways. And, guys, we are reviewing Episode 4. There you go. Episode 4, Kamen Rider Saber. One entitled, I Opened the Book, Therefore. Whatever. Review. And yeah, this episode was good. Honestly, I don't think I've given that. No, I gave episode 2 10 out of 10. I'm gonna spoil it right now. I'm giving this episode 10 out of 10. Why? Comment. I'm getting my shows confused. Mike, what's the one thing I like about Power Rangers Beast Morphers? What's the one thing I really like every time I do?
You like references being used correctly, content, and subtlety.
Close, but that's not the only reason why. Drop kicks.
Yeah, you are a dropkick guy.
In Kamen Rider Saber, I got a clothesline. I got a clothesline from hell, from friggin' Tinkerbell of all people. Do you know how awesome that was?
Yeah, honestly, when I saw that scene, I'm like, I wish that in Kamen Rider Double they had a Chunkla Gaia memory, so they could be like, Chunkla maximum drive, and then you do a finisher like the one that Skull uses in what's called in the Skull movie, except instead of a giant skull coming at the enemy, it's a giant Chunkla.
Bruh. You know what? Listen, I don't think the world will be ready for that. I don't think the world is ready. I don't think Japan or America is ready for a Chunkla impact to be thrown at them. I'm just saying. Or a Kamen Rider jumping into the sky with a Chunkla on, Chancla Impact. Like, I'm just saying.
Honestly, like I'd love to see like parodies of like Chancla Rider, like Final Attack Raido, Chancla, Maximum Drive, Chancla, Skating Charge,
Chancla event.
Chancla Limit Break.
No, or Chancla event.
Chancla, please, Psycho.
So I think if we are to make a Kamen Rider Dragon Knight fan film, the final event should just be a Chancla around Adam and him drop kicking someone with the Chancla on a black Chancla. Anyways,
Chancla, full throttle. Chancla, Omedaman.
Okay, we're going off tangent about this Chancla. But people, y'all know, if you ever had a Chancla thrown at you, welcome to the club. Anyways, give me a second. Hold up. Okay, whatever. Anyways, so episode 4. Which thing of the episode, Kamen? I mean, Mike. Oh, God, I'm getting my show confused. Go ahead.
I think the episode was pretty good. I think we are doing a proper, follow through in what we would expect in episode 3, moving to episode 4, because like how I said, like how episode 2 follows through after episode 1 is really important. Same thing with in episode 4 following through on episode 3, and much like how in Kuga and Kiva, they got their first side form, like proper side form in like around episode 6. I like that we finally get to see full like 3-book set. And I mean, if anything, I would have liked to see more repercussion from using 3 books. But we'll see more. Let's see where episode 5 takes us. But I do like that there is like some follow through, and I like how the characters are actually using their brains on how to figure out what's going on here when the traditional things don't normally work.
Right. But let's get started. So previously on Kamen Rider, as our nice narrator likes to say, well, not his, but he essentially wants to say previously on Kamen Rider, Sora gets kidnapped. Ogami pulls up on the lizard and hits him with a freaking Omni Slash like it's Final Fantasy VII, and we think it was over. No, it's not. And he's pissed because he's like, I don't know what's going on, but I need to find my son. And we find out that the lizard that he tried killing is actually a salamander. A salamander, in case for people who don't know how salamanders live longer, salamanders are able to regenerate their limbs. So let's say if you were to cut the arm off of a salamander, it just grows, or its tail, it grows it back. They grow back.
But also, salamanders are not reptilious; they're amphibious.
Yes. Now, I'm not sure if cutting the head off works, but it doesn't.
I mean, cutting the head off is going to kill it for sure.
Oh, okay. But with that being said, that's what's going down right now because the Japanese rendition of NSYNC are like, hey, dude, you messed up. And the guy who looks like Justin Timberlake is like, are you sure about that? And then you see the salamander monster grow back. And Toma tells Agami that he promises to find Sora, right? And he's like, and he pulls him aside, like, what's with you and these damn promises? What's this? What's the end game to you? Do you realize what it's like to be a father? Do you realize what it's like to be in my shoes? My son is gone. I can't do a damn thing about it. And Toma's
my question is, whose fault is it?
It doesn't matter. So
whose fault?
It doesn't matter.
Watch your kids. Because this is how we get Harambe for president.
Wow, you went there. Anyways. So Toma is like, listen, I don't know why I make promises. I really don't. But when I promise, I'm a man of my word and I'm going to keep it, right? And so his homie Kento is like when him and Sentaro leave, Ogami's like, what is with this guy? Why a novelist of all people? First of all, he's a Kamen Rider. Why is of all people? Why is he a Kamen Rider? And what's all these damn promises? Like, I'm sick of it. Kento's like, all right, listen. There's a reason why, and he explains to Ogami that Toma lost his memory as a child. That something tragic happened, and we all know, likely not, it was his sister getting thrown into the Phantom Zone, and Kento tells him everything that's going on. Like, so he doesn't remember what's going on, but he doesn't remember anything that happened that day. But because of that, he's made a promise to himself that whatever it takes to help others, he promises that he will help people and stuff like that. And with the power that he has, he's gonna fulfill that promise because he's a Kamen Rider now. So we get back to his workshop, and he's telling Sentaro and May, he's like, okay, look, I think I may know why. He was talking about how he's trying to bring a king. There's a book where the Salamander King has to kill people. The Salamander eats a bunch of people, and in return, the Salamander King comes back to life, and so forth and so forth. So their idea is they know for a fact that the Salamander is still alive, and they got to destroy him again. Mm-hmm. Ogami pulls up, and he's like, hey, yo, novelist, what'd you promise my son? He's like, oh, I promised your son that books don't suck, and I would help him realize that books are not bad. Books are cool, right? And so Ogami's like, all right, you know what? You won't keep that promise. Let's go. And as they're all going, May's trying to go because it's May, and when the white books falls out, the same white book that Sora opened, thinking that it was going to be a Keyblade was going to fall out, and so May decides, I'm going to open this book because this might take me to Sora and the other Keyblade wielders. Mm-hmm. And so, while that's going on, the Dark Knight, I don't know the guy's name, but we're calling him Dark Knight. Caliber, there we go. I keep calling him, okay, Caliber, Dark Caliber, or Excalibur, whatever Caliber you want to call him. Caliber is like, all right, I think I know what to do. And he brings back this dude called Desto, or Desto. And Desto, from what we know, he is an expert Kamen Rider killer because he actually carries some of the Book of Wonders.
Wonder Ride books, yeah, like he's got the Fire Eagle thing. I don't know what the actual name of the Wonder Ride book. Please write in the comments if you know its actual name.
I think it was called Storm Eagle.
Scorch Eagle. I don't know. Some of them sound like Beyblade names. I'm gonna be honest.
To be fair, every Wonder Rider book or Wonder Rider or Wonder book, all of them sound like Beyblades, bro. Lion Genki and Lion Senki,
Brave Dragon, Lion Senki, let it read. Wait, no, let it read.
Read.
Remember, kids, poor literacy is cool.
Anyway, so as they're about to go into the next book, Desta pulls up, and Toma wants to throw hands with him, but Ogami gives him the book of the hedgehog and is like, nah. I got this. I got the big ass sword. I got this. Y'all go save my son. And I will cover the fight with the lizard. You go ahead and cover the Desto fight. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh man, it was gorgeous. You get to see Buster bust some heads, some rhymes, like Michael Myers.
No, we're not bringing up Halloween Resurrection. Why would you? Not on this channel. Because we won't make them start cussing. No. Which, if you guys want, please be sure to listen to our retrospective review of Halloween Resurrection on Skruggle Game Podcast on SoundCloud.com/SkruggleGaming. And that's not the point. Don't bring that up. Don't bring up a strip mall karate version of TJ Storm. Don't do that.
Hey, it was destiny. TJ Storm knew that his student would have to fight Michael Myers, so he
Stop
taught him
it.
the ultimate
Mike,
martial
stop.
arts.
Stop
By the way, we
it.
love you, TJ Storm. You're a really cool dude. You know
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
why? Why? He's the king of all monsters.
Shut up. Continue.
Yeah. But yeah, no, the fight was really well choreographed, and I love that Buster was actually holding his own in this, and I would love to find out more about this Rider killer, because it's always interesting when there is a Grim Reaper type of character in Kamen Rider. I don't think we've seen like a really interesting one since Kamen Rider Drive.
I think what I like is how Ogami also talks about how he's like, oh man, I'm old. Like when they're fighting, he's throwing quips. He's like, hey, I'm old. It's been 15 years since my last fight.
I love that. It's like a subtle John Wick reference. It's like, I'm back. Yeah, I'm back.
or John Wick Chapter 3 when he's fighting the twins from the Raid 2. And he's like this. And they're like, you good? It's like,
yeah. Let me register something.
And imagine if John Wick's a Kamen Rider.
Yo, I thought about that. I even thought about like, what if Keanu Reeves was a stand user? And I'm like, his name would be Neo. His name would be Neo, like the rapper, and his stand's name would be Breath Away.
Continue. Oh my god.
Because we're all breathtaking tonight.
Stop it. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So of course, Discount Akiko is inside those bubbles with the kids, and she's like trying to keep Sora from like losing hope and stuff. And he's like, books aren't fun at all. And she's like, no way. It's like you got to learn more about loving books. And then finally Toma shows up. It's like, no, books are awesome. Look, I got it. And then like even like Shintara's like, check it out. I have a book with a lion, and I'm gonna free you using that book with the lion.
Wait, hold on. Before we go into that, can we talk about how May was actually strapped? Like, I gotta give May credit for this one. She came in with a giant thing of fireworks to shoot into the bubbles, which I'm like, that sounds good, but also I don't want to throw physics I don't want to throw physics or logical sense in Kamen Rider, but if the bubbles are that strong, that should have killed her in the inside of that bubble.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not trying to throw logic into Kamen Rider.
So needless to say, I still think best plan still goes to TJ from In Space when they went to Secret City.
Right. So Lion Senki, the lion from Sataro's book, shoots all the bubbles with water, and then the Megalodon comes back, or the salamander.
Megalodon, that's funny.
And so they fight, and Sora, now that his heart is no longer filled with darkness and dread because the Kamen Riders are here, and now his heart's filled with light and hope and friendship. Yes, I am still making Kingdom Hearts references. People.
Yeah, that's right. Friendship is magic. Please.
Yeah.
Ujukita. Okay, look, man. Kamen Rider 4. Okay, look, man. Kamen Rider Forza is about friendship. Kamen Rider Wizard is about magic. When the two of them have a team up, which they have on multiple occasions, friendship is the greatest magic.
So essentially, they turn it into a massive shonen jump.
Yeah, they do.
Anyways, so they fight the Megalodon, and the Megalodon, they think they kill him at first, but he comes back and beats up on them. And so Toma's like, hold up. You said that having 3 books is powerful, right? Yeah. I'm going to yank this. And he takes the Peter Pan book out of Centaur's drive and puts it in with his hedgehog drive and takes it out, and he is turned into like a three-man Kamen Rider. So he has Brave Dragon, Peter
I just
Pan,
love how he just yoinks it out of his belt.
And Sonic the Hedgehog, or Supersonic.
Yeah.
And and he fights the Megalodon and beats him within an inch of his life. And not only destroys it, he frees all the kids. Sora goes back to his dad. He's teleported back to his dad, and they have a nice little reunion. And he's like, thank you, Toma, and stuff like that. Toma, Pat is like about to faint. He damn near passes out, and friggin'. And as Centauro is trying to get him, back up, he's like, hey, man, look, it was reckless, but you did good. You did good, okay?
Wait, but before we go into that, a little more about the fight with Buster. I love how the way he uses the Beanstalk Wonder Ride book, and like right when the Rider Killer has him on the ropes, like he straight up steals the Eagle book from him.
Scorch Eagle, I think.
Yeah, Scorch Eagle, and I love how like they basically call it a draw, and he's like, you know what, keep it. This will make the fight more interesting. And he just walks off, and I'm like, I can't wait to see more of this guy.
Can we also talk about the fact that Desto pulled a Psycho Crusher with that book in his sword? He legit pulled a Psycho Crusher like it's friggin' Street Fighter throughout that entire fight. I'm like, is this Street Fighter or is this Kamen Rider? Well, it can't be Street Fighter because Ryu's not a Power Ranger. And
he never will be.
Because that would be terrible. Anyways, as the episode concludes, as Centauro is grabbing Toma, about to go back to their world, the Dark Knight himself shows up. Caliber.
Can we talk about the finisher, though?
Yes. Caliber's finisher?
No, not Caliber's finisher. Not Caliber's finisher. Toma's finisher using the 3 books.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so he combines Brave Dragon, Electric Hedgehog, and Peter Pan Fantasia.
Can I please talk about it? Thank you. So, not only does this man combine Brave Dragon, Peter Pan, and Hedgehog, as they're talking, Sora is like, wait a minute, is that Tinkerbell? I was like, yeah, it's Tinkerbell. Like, don't worry, like she's small. Like, and but Tinkerbell becomes a if I can quote Steven Universe, Tinkerbell turned into a giant woman.
'Cause you're a giant woman.
And not just a giant woman.
That's you how to be strong in the real way.
This chick playing Tinkerbell had arms, had massive gains, bro. Gains.
She looks like Mai on steroids.
I'm talking Gain Central, Gain City, dude. And not just that.
She makes Asuka look like a stick puppet.
Yes, she does. Because during the fight, when Toma hits the Godzilla Salamander Purple Rain with the final attack, he hits him with like 1,000 needles, like it's freaking Fist of the North Star. And then on top of that, Tinkerbell comes in with flames around her because she's been whipping around really fast and throws her into the Megalodon. She clotheslines this dude into the ground with an also elbow dropping him, and then explodes.
And I love how Rintara's like, it's like she's cute and strong, which by the way, we still have that thing, prediction that Rintaro and Maya are going to be a thing.
Oh, I forgot. I keep saying this dude's name wrong. So, Kamen Rider fans, I'm sorry. I keep thinking it's Centauro. Rintaro. Is it Rintaro or Rentaro? Rentaro, not Centauro. Rentaro. Yeah, Rentaro had the hots for buffed up May for sure. Like for real, not for play. Buffed up May Tinkerbell not only clotheslines into an elbow drop, but then explodes, incinerating the Megalodon. That's the silliness I love. That was
Yeah.
silly. But man, I ate that up, bro. I loved it. It was awesome. I loved it. Anyways. So
and I love how like mine's like, that was weird. But Sora's like, that was cool.
So that's the power of books. So in case for our younger viewers, if you don't learn nothing from this episode, is this. Read more books. Listen to audiobooks if you have to, but read more books.
Yeah, that scene, like that dialogue, low-key reminded me of what's it called? It low-key reminded me of that one scene from that episode of Beetleborgs, where like at the end of the episode, like this one kid's at a comic store, and his dad's like, "Hey, son, what about this?" And he shows him a Beetleborg comic. It's like, and he's like, "Nah, that's boring." And then like when the monsters get destroyed, they get sent into the comics. So like the monster gets sent into that specific issue of Beetleborgs #6, and he's like, "You know what, Dad? I actually want that."
So, and now we get to Excalibur. Not Excalibur, Caliber.
Yeah.
Caliber has finally made his presence. Washes Rintaro and a weakened Toma. Like honestly, if Toma was at 100%, he's probably still get his butt kicked. And as Caliber is about to take them out with like a giant raging storm, like he's Geese Howard from King of Fighters, a Yellow Rider appears. Hopefully, it's probably Kento, and blocks it, and then transports Caliber back into Wonderland or Wonderworld or where the heck we're calling it. And then we get the narrator talking about, "Ooh, this has gotten interesting. Caliber, the Dark Knight Caliber has finally made his move. How would the Kamen Riders deal with it now? I guess you'll find out next week." And that was episode 4.
I swear to God, like I get the feeling that Tassel is gonna be like a villain or something, because like he's like way too creepy and knows way too much.
He's a regular Japanese. He's a regular anime character, dude.
Yeah, and like from what we could tell from the previews for the
Japanese
next episode, we know that Espada has some serious beef with Caliber. And I'm curious how far that's gonna go, because I'm pretty and like you could tell from the dialogue that like Caliber, he doesn't care about his spot. He's like, "Out of my way, boy! I'm here for the Flaming Knight."
Wait, whose father?
Wait, what?
Whose father?
I don't know. I don't know. Is there a season of Sentai that this feels way too similar to? Oh yeah. You fight without honor. I am Korag, the Night Wolf.
So, do you really think that the Yellow Kamen Rider is the son of Caliber?
No, but I do think that Caliber is Toma's dad.
Probably. I'm kind of thinking that too.
But I think Espada probably has some kind of personal beef because of what happened, in that flashback.
Okay. But other than that, yeah, that was episode 4 of Kamen Rider Saber. Couple of things. I think it was a really good episode. I will say that right now. Honestly, there really is not that much I can nitpick about. Mm-hmm. I mean, I kind of wanted to see Caliber, just wash him. And I honestly thought that the show had me going for a minute. I really thought that Caliber was going to pull up and kill Ogami after he had beaten Desto. That's what I originally thought, because keep in mind, Caliber was like lurking in the shadows when Ogami fought Desto. So I was thinking, oh, Ogami's gonna die in this episode, huh? But no, they kind of threw a curveball at me. I don't know if they're still gonna plan on it. I'm not sure. But other than that, I like this episode. Screw it. 10 out of 10. I'm gonna stick to it. I'm gonna stick to my guns. 10 out of 10. This episode was great. And we got a clothesline into an elbow drop explosion. I'm a happy fan. Go ahead.
Me, I like it when the 4th episode of a Kamen Rider season actually does some world building, not just introduce a new character, or even just a new form, but also like develop more relationship with the characters. Like like more specifically, like you got Desto, who's a rider killer. I'm curious how he became a rider killer, or what's his modus operandi. What's his track record in hunting riders? And given the fact that we have this first fight with Ogami, I'm curious if this is going to be a long-lasting rivalry. Hopefully, it will end no sooner than around episode 12 or 13. I mean, if it lasts longer, that's great. But if Desto gets murked by Buster before episode 12, I'm gonna be a little upset because you got a lot of writing potential with this character, and I love it when there's a recurring villain for the heroes to fight. Heck, you know what makes Goldar so memorable in Power Rangers? Because he's hands-on and he keeps coming back.
And he never lost.
He got bamboozled, but never really lost.
He never took an L.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
There you go.
He took a D, but not an L.
But continue. Go ahead.
But yeah, I love that we finally have a 3-book combination. But I would like to see it have more repercussion against Toma's, physiology. I want him to because in Kamen Rider O's, sorry, spoiler alert for those of you who haven't watched O's, but you could use any combination of 3 metals, but when you have straight 3 metals of the same color, it's more physically taxing on the body. And given the fact that they set up in episode 2 that having 2 books is too intense for someone who's new to being a writer, I would like to see a little bit more of that after effect on Toma's body. But I do love how, I do love that last minute Espada shows up and just counters Caliber's attack, which creates a precedence that despite being younger than most of the other writers, I think that Espada is probably one of the more powerful ones, because I get the feeling that Rintar would not be able to handle fighting off Caliber the same way that Espada would.
Right.
But it does create a lot of intrigue in why does Espada specifically have beef with a Caliber? I'm pretty sure, because you'd think that because Toma's dad is the fire wizard, you'd think Caliber would have more beef with Toma, and we actually do see him say, it's I'm not here for you, boy. I'm here for the Flaming Knight. But I'm curious. But I do want to see more of this develop, and hopefully this also means that Espada and Saber are going to have to actually work together for this one.
Right.
Let's see. I love that Mai is actually being useful more in this episode, or at least trying to be useful in this episode. And I love how in the end, Sora is inspired to find books so appealing, and I love that Ogami is starting to see why Toma makes promises and why he tries to keep them. So all in all, I give the episode a 9 3/4 out of 10. I would love to see a little bit of improvement, but it's almost perfect episode, almost perfect.
So you got 10, you got 9, so that's good. All right, then. With that being said, guys, let's look at that comment section, because it's YouTube and Facebook comments time. So thank you guys so much for watching on both YouTube and Facebook. Really appreciate it, guys. If you haven't yet, be sure to follow us here on Facebook and follow us here on YouTube as well. So for the Facebook crowd, be sure to like and follow us on Morphin Network. And for the YouTube crowd, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell icon. And for this video, which we're reviewing episode 4 of Kamen Rider Saber, be sure to like, comment, like it again, hit it a 3rd time, triple like, help us with the algorithm and stuff like that. And be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at MorphinNet. With that being said, let's get started. So, Michael Brogan, what's up, Michael?
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Go
Leo, go Leo, go Leo, go Leo, go Leo, go.
Hearts were pretty good. No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm just gonna say this right now. Kingdom Hearts is not that good. Okay. And before people are like, did you play it? Yes, I played it. I streamed it for a month and a half. Because I couldn't I just couldn't make myself play it. Y'all forced me to, and thankfully y'all did. So I'm happy about that. Thank you. But at the same time, I gave that game back to my brother, and he traded it in for Star Ocean. So there you go. Haven't seen it yet. What have you seen? I think he was talking about I don't remember what he was talking
Saber or Kingdom Hearts.
I don't know. Axel Ranger, what's up, Axel? Needle Hedgehog reminds me of Supersonic. Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
did.
Yeah. By the way, just a heads up, XL Ranger down here, he's like the biggest Sonic the Hedgehog fan I know.
Hey, Axel, just to let you know, Mike thinks that fighting Chaos is hard in Sonic Adventure. Moving on. Jake Gonzalez.
Hey, look, man, Perfect Chaos is the hardest boss I've ever fought, and I was able to beat most of the bosses on Bloodstained on my first try, including Bloodless.
I can't say what I want to say. I'll tell you I'll tell you off the stream. Jake Gonzalez says this episode was really good. Yes, it was. I really liked it. Again, Tinkerbell, buffed up Tinkerbell, clotheslined a monster, elbow dropped him, and then self-destruct. It can't get more wrestling than that.
By the way, I love how Toma at the end of the episode, before Caliber shows up, he says, "All's well that ends well," which is a Shakespeare quote, by the way. But I feel like Shakespeare is too many of Shakespeare's plays are not safe for kids, but kids should read more Shakespeare. Just saying.
Right. He also says that Needle Hedgehog, though. Yes, like I said, it's awesome. Spada is BA. Yes, he is. I think he's proven that he is super BA.
It's Spanish for sword.
I know.
Just like the tennis Spadas from Bleach.
All right, Monty says hi. What's up, Monty? How you doing, dude? And
Hey,
Monty,
Monty,
you the man, bro. You the man. No, Kingdom Hearts 3 was met. Thank you. Please tell that to Dagger Boy the next time you see him, because I think he's kind of in denial about it. He's like, it gets better. No, it doesn't.
Help.
Like, it doesn't get better. Kingdom Hearts 3 does not get better, okay? Now, Sora in this one's more useful than Sora in the game. Anyways, Birth by Sleep all the way. I haven't played Birth by Sleep. I own it on PSP, but I think I should probably get an emulator for it. But I'll do that later. And last but certainly not least, Axel Ranger says, Sonic Adventure is my favorite game of all time. Love Perfect Chaos. Looks like an aquatic version of Biolant. I would probably say this, Kabuto. I mean, but I keep calling you Kabuto. What is your favorite 3D Sonic game of all time? TRZ, go ahead.
My favorite 3D Sonic game. It's really tough because it's a question of like story versus gameplay and stuff. Honestly, I would have to say the one game that I probably come back to play the most is probably Sonic Heroes.
Same.
But I most enjoy playing Team Chaotix. So I'm gonna be honest. Like most people are frustrated with Team Chaotix the most, but for me, honestly it's the most fun because it mixes things up throughout like their game run, and yeah, like and I still think it's funny how it took you 3 hours to beat Bloodless, but it took me 20. But it took me 20 tries to beat.
No, you rage quit. You rage quit against Perfect Chaos. You can't talk. You can't talk.
No, but here's the thing. No, but here's my point though. You make fun of me for me saying that Perfect Chaos is the hardest boss for me to fight. Yet I beat Bloodless on my first try from Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, and it took you 3 hours to beat her.
It took you, it took you how many attempts to beat Perfect Chaos in a game that came out in 1999?
I take issue with some of the mechanics. Like it doesn't always register that you're at full speed. That's my issue.
It took me 2 chances to beat Perfect Chaos.
Sometimes it took me 2 tries to beat Perfect Chaos, but as far as every boss of every game I've ever played of every difficulty setting, Like, I'd rather fight Jubileus in Infinite Climax on Bayonetta than fight Perfect Chaos.
All right. Monty says I haven't played Kingdom Hearts in a while. Monty, the only thing you need to know is heart, light, darkness, friendship. That's all they talk about in the game. You're not really missing out. I've mastered fighting Perfect Chaos. See? Be more like Axel. Be more like Axel, dude. And Jake Gonzalez with the final comment says, "Go Lakers."
And by the way, special request from Jake Gonzalez.
No!
This is gonna happen. This is gonna happen.
Anyway, guys, that is it for this week's episode of the Rider Time Podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for allowing us to come into your homes, be your virtual neighbors, and talk about Kamen Rider with you guys. And that's pretty much it. If you haven't yet, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, @Reckless_Fox, YouTube Rex_Fox, and follow all my latest game content on twitch.tv/RecklessFox. If you want more content, myself and Mike and Jen and Thunder Chica, we do our own video game podcast every weekend, the Struggle Gaming Podcast, now available on SoundCloud, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. Type in the Struggle Gaming Podcast on any platform that you listen to podcasts on, and we're right there. And on a recent episode, we did our 3-year anniversary. Be sure to check that out. Mike, where can
By the way, I love the thumbnail you used for that podcast. I'm like, so good.
Where can they find you, dude?
You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/BokenKawatu. You can find me on Instagram at Chrono_just_cosplay. By the way, you've held on to my copy of Bloodstained for so long that I had to get a Steam copy of the game just so I could play it again. And I'm curious, how long is it going to take me to play the game over from the beginning? Considering you're 3 months in and you're still only halfway through the game.
So, does this mean I can keep the Switch version?
No, I want it back, but
Okay,
I want you to beat it first.
Okay, fine. Well, that being said, guys, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. As you guys do know, we are celebrating the 50 years of Kamen Rider. As you guys, if you guys are new, each week before our outros, we show you a glimpse and summarize a season of Kamen Rider. We're now in season 3 of the Showa era of Kamen Rider. So, with that being said, Mike, take it away.
Yeah, just so you know, I had to this segment has been modified to fit the format of the podcast, but you'll see a full version sometime later on. But for anyone asking, is there any footage of episode 26? No, there isn't. I'm not gonna bend to that. I'm not gonna bend to that. This is an election year. I don't want any controversy.
Well, that being said, guys.
Well, that's it, guys. Please enjoy, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Kyono Kamen Rider wa?
Kamen Rider X.
Kamen Rider X first aired on February 16th, 1974 for 35 episodes.
Kisuke Jinspotter was a cybernetics engineer who caught the attention of the government of darkness.
When Kisuke's girlfriend Ryoko betrays them both and shoots them, Kisuke's life was saved by his father's cybernetics at the cost of the professor's life.
He becomes Kamen Rider X with the ability to withstand high water pressure and high altitudes.
Assisted by the mysterious Kiriko, X swore to protect humanity from God.
Later, he gets help from familiar faces when he is on the race against God to obtain the blueprints to an ultimate weapon
And prove his place as a fellow rider.
First we're gonna jump, then we're gonna kick, then we're gonna ride. Go, let it go. X gonna kick it to you. He gonna kick it to you. Where my runs at?
See you next week. Bye.
Today's Morphin Network video is sponsored by Ranger Stop and Pop, which is March 5th to the 7th, 2021 in Atlanta, Georgia, and Ranger Stop Convention, which is now November 11th to the 14th, 2021 in Orlando, Florida. Go to rangerstop.com for more info.